And hello, Irregular Nation, and welcome to another segment of Irregular Thoughts with the Irregular Neil. Okay. So, over this past week, I mean, it's Saturday, it's the 17th. I even joined the Truthcast the other day, and, a lot of these topics have been coming out. We're still on the Restore the SNYDER'Verse, RELEASETHEAYERCUT. We got stuff on the cancellation of, the first scripted New Gods, and everybody started losing their fucking minds, and yada, 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 fucking yada. All right? Just before I even begin to give you my thoughts on this, my irregular thoughts, I'm a huge Zack Snyder fan, okay? I've been part of this since the start. Of course, I'm not a huge part. I'm not like, the people that get to talk to all the celebrities or anything like that. I mean, shit, I've been suspended from Twitter for about a month. So I'm not even able to partake in hashtagging unless, I do it on my Instagram account, which I do. And you guys, anybody that follows me knows that. You could see it right there in the bottom. It used to say @Irregular Neil, but now it just says Irregular Neil because that's my handle on Instagram. And that's where I do all my shit anyway. So when I go into all this, and I don't want you to think that I'm going on a negative tone or anything like that. You're just talking, you're going to hear the thoughts of a person that just knows how to look at it from every which way. Okay. I'm not a short-sighted person. I'm not just going to sit there and, use my fan brain and not really think about all the logistics that go into all this shit. And even, we got the Snyder Cut, and, why wouldn't they want to do this, and why wouldn't they want to do that, and blah, 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 blah. But guess what, guys? There's a lot of shit that goes into this, okay? And yeah, WB, they suck. But they don't suck on the fact that they've given us movies over decades that are great. I mean, so let's not just stop and sit there. This is where I feel everybody gets short-sighted, okay? No one thinks about, the long-term effects or, what a company has done prior to that. And I'm not defending any fucking big mobile company. I'm just trying to give you guys, come on, see the forest through the trees here a little bit. So, when, released the Snyder Cut started, that was because of all the atrocities that went on prior to that. We saw that movie fucked with. We saw actors fucked with. We saw a man's vision, as his own writer with him, Chris Terrio, called it vandalism. And now Zach has started taking some shots because let's not forget, Zach's got his Army of the Dead franchise on Netflix. That's a platform that does it right. They pay their directors to just put their visions out there. Just go do it. No meddling, no nothing. It's a streaming service. Here you go. Here's your money. Go get us some more subscriptions. Go get us more views. However all this streaming stuff works, I don't know all the inside and outs about it. I mean, we do live in the streaming wars. And one thing I do continue to say, and I don't think people always see this, is that we got the Snyder Cut because of timing. Okay? Let's be real about it. Yes, the canary cry, as I like to call it, from the fans. And, and even that, everybody, we get labeled toxic, right? Because people want this, they want that, and they think that, the only reason we're getting it is because we're crying. No. Every fan base cries. Every fan base has toxicity or has, parts within their fan base that suck. But yes, this fan, the Snyder people like myself and all that donated to the suicide prevention and all that kind of stuff, and all the YouTubers, there was factions of them that, created donation accounts, and they created, you know, cons online for stuff, and all it does is get more eyes on it, and it does do good for the people that really do love these movies. So that's why I'm careful kind of in my words too, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that like they solely need these movies, and I get that. I get it. I'm a man that likes to be entertained, so I also like to entertain people. So if you watch my channel, you know how I am. But that being said, you know, I just don't know if we're like in the moment of what we got. And some people will say that we are, but I don't know that we are, because let me tell you something. It is what? It's April 17th. We got the Snyder Cut on March 18th. So tomorrow marks a month. And directly after the movie was released, everybody just took to the internet and they're restore the Snyderverse. And it was almost like nobody was really taking in the moment of, dude, we just got probably, in my mind, the best comic book movie made. And I know people say, no. But in my mind, this fucking thing had everything. And we got it in a format that we were never going to see if it actually came out when it was supposed to come out. We would have got compromised stuff. We wouldn't have got the Steppenwolf that we got. We wouldn't have got any of that stuff. We wouldn't have got, you know, how everybody sits on the Jared Leto Joker scene. We're going to get into that Ayer cut. At how epic it was. You know, you felt the history of Batman and Joker within that 3-minute scene. I think it was 3 minutes. Well, whatever the time limit was. It was a short scene, but you felt all that. And that was actually done new. That was reshot. Oh, excuse me. Before, you know, that was never in the plans. I'll put it to you that way. That was all new. And that was kind of like what started this whole thing. You know, let's make the Batfleck, make the Batfleck movie. We want the Deathstroke series. We want the Ayer cut. You know, now it's the New Gods thing. How could you guys do this? And it's like, you know, guys. Now I'm starting to like look at everybody, and I just want to like just tell everybody, just like, you know, maybe it's time to.
Could you please shut up? And that goes for all you. I can't listen to your for one more damn second.
Okay. And this is, for me, just going to all sides, the negative side, the positive side, the in-betweeners, the holy fucking shit. I mean, can we focus on one thing? Is that possible? Is it possible to focus on one fucking thing? I don't know. I honestly don't know anymore, because everybody should be in the moment right now of appreciating the fact, like, you know, now that I talk, you know, we got Man of Steel, we got BVS, we even have a remastered BVS coming in its IMAX version. And then we get the mythical Snyder Cut that, you know, back then everybody said didn't exist. It wasn't this, it wasn't that. And it has done nothing but kick ass. Okay. And the general audience loves it. But when I just played that little quick clip there of the shut the fuck up, it's, guys, take a second to breathe. Breathe for a second. Okay. Regardless of taking to the internet every day, taking to Twitter every day and hashtagging this, hashtagging that, and things trend #1 for a day, or they trend again at one point in the week. Do you honestly think a studio really gives two fucks about that? No, they do not. Do you think Warner Brothers really cares? No. And do you think Disney cares? Do you think Sony cares? You know, all these studios, I can't even, because, you know, Paramount, all of them, they don't give a shit. They don't. Okay? It's a business. It's a business. This is a business. And this is where I go, like, guys, I don't know if you're totally seeing this right now. So if everybody thinks just because we're hashtagging and we're doing this and we're having these events, they're just going to say good for you. Okay? Because if, with what we're doing, if we really think that because we're doing good, something good's going to come in return, well, then you're not living in the real world, okay? Just because you do something good does not mean you get rewarded. You could still get shitted on. I mean, that's life. So that's when I say to ourselves, that's when I say to everybody, like, we're such an in-the-moment society, okay? We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. And yeah, guess what? It really is. It really is, everybody. Do you think Warner Brothers had any kind of honor towards Zack Snyder? No. The people that screwed him over, the people that panicked as soon as they saw something and they felt that the general public wasn't going to like it, and now look at how they love the Snyder Cut. So do you think that all of a sudden they're going to say, yeah, we're going to budget this shit at 500 plus mil, finish Justice League 2, finish Justice League 3, Ben Affleck, Joel Manganiello, get your ass back here, let's do this. If they had nothing on their plate, movie-wise, series-wise, I'd say, yeah, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. But I just don't know if all of a sudden we're just going to get what everybody wants. And I'm, like I said, I'm not trying to take a negative point to this. I'm just trying to be very realistic with everybody. I read all the articles, okay? I've seen the videos. I haven't watched all of Justice Con yet. I've seen the Grace Randolph, Zack Snyder interview. Oh, that's really good. Grace Randolph. But Zack didn't seem negative about any of it. He's the same way. Like, keep watching the movie, keep making some noise. But he's not sitting there telling you that it's going to happen. Will I sit here and say that they're not trying to negotiate, or they're not trying to figure out ways to do this where it makes sense? I would say yes. We've heard stuff about The Rock wanting the Snyderverse to continue, The Rock trying to, fight for it. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't know what happens behind closed doors, guys. And, I do my live streams and I jump on live streams and I hear the way fans talk and I hear the way they ask questions. Dude, I feel that when we round back to the same points, why are we still talking about it? Talk about something else while still fighting for what we want. I did say it is timing. Like when AT&T came in, it was like in 2016. It was right around, I think, when Justice League was being made, around that time, and negotiations were starting. And they rushed that movie out. They said, well, he's going. All right, you're gone. Get the fuck out of here. We don't like what you're doing. Whedon, come in, dismantle it, do what you got to do. And then some people still liked Anal League. I don't know why, but they did. And now we are where we are. And honestly, it really is just fun.
This is madness. It's madness, I tell you, for the love of God, Monica, don't do it!
I mean, holy shit. You don't know which way to go sometimes. I kind of like pause a little bit because it's just like, woof. Like AT&T saw a money-making opportunity. They were launching this is what I say. You have to, when these things are going on, okay, you have to put away your fan brain for a second, right? You gotta separate that. Okay, take the crazy fanatic and put it aside for a second. Then look at the business aspect. Regardless of how much you know about it, just look at the common sense parts of the business aspect. And then you're going to go in between and figure out how this could really how they can all fit together. So if you're launching a brand new streaming service, right? And then you're seeing the day and age that we live in, and I brought up the fact of the Donner cut. and how long that took to get to come out. Well, think about the era that it happened. There was no internet when it came to this kind of shit. Twitter, where you can go on and everybody can spew their bullshit and act like they know everything. But guess what? It took over 30 years to get that shit. Okay. And they still didn't even get a finished version of it. It was kind of like, like stock footage or whatever the fuck it was, But I bring that up because what we saw was unprecedented. All right. Zach got to come back, not only finish his movie and get like close to probably well north of 70 mil to do this with all the VFX. And I have a feeling that, I don't know if I came across it saying that all the VFX wasn't totally done. If they gave him more money, he could have made it even look better than it already looked, So here, and then here we are now. And I don't know if everybody fully appreciates the fact that we got this fucking movie. I really don't. Because here we are, everybody's just totally all over the place. Now you have a director in David Ayer coming out now. Now, David Ayer has been politicking this for a while, guys. I don't know why this is like it's new news. This isn't new news. The David Ayer shit is not new news. None of it is. If you've been paying attention from the start of this movement and every little thing that happened in between it, the concept art that David Ayer was shown years ago. Okay? The Steppenwolf stuff, we already knew El Diablo was alive in his fucking cut. But the concept art for like the boom tubes and all that was just concept art. That's it. That was never going to actually be in his cut. No. And I've seen people saying that. No, it was not. Okay? Enchantress was going to be different. The Joker was going to be more fleshed out, and he was going to be more of an antagonist in this kind of thing. He was going to play more of a role. I think he actually makes a deal with the Enchantress at one point, I believe, in the Ayer cut. And were Mother Box is going to be involved? Probably somewhat, because it was tied into Justice League. But it wasn't going to have Steppenwolf pop in with Parademon. Sorry, guys. That's not right. It was still going to be those putty fucking soldiers and all that, but it was going to be a character-driven movie. And we didn't get that. And when everybody saw Jared Leto's Joker, I'll get back to this Snyder Cut, don't worry. When we all saw Jared Leto's Joker in the Snyder Cut and what he did in that one little scene, everybody's like, oh my God, we need the Ayer cut. Guys, David Ayer's Joker and that Joker are not the same. Okay? It's blatantly obvious that they're not the same. There's no tattoos, unless he's still, because he had gloves on, he has that hand tattoo. I don't know, but he didn't have the damaged or anything like that. It was still Jared Leto's Joker, but I'm not sure it was the David Ayer Joker. Okay? Do I want to see the Ayer cut? Fuck yes. I hated the movie that fucking came out. I thought it was garbage. I remember one of my buddies like, oh, I really liked it. I'm like, what did you like about it? I'm like, well, because they had fun music in it. I'm like, there was no story. It was choppy as hell. Enchantress was like fucking doing like this stupid fucking dance in it. Then that whole brother I'm like, this is fucking garbage. But there were scenes and moments with some of the characters that were great. They totally butchered Katana. They didn't even give her a fucking role. And she's a more fleshed out character in this movie. But when it came to what I saw recently come out, that's old news, man. That I already knew about all that shit. And I know everybody else did. Well, I feel that everybody else did, or anybody that was paying attention throughout this whole thing. That wasn't new news that El Diablo survived, because he was, I don't know if technically he wanted to call him like the heart part of the movie, but he had a very big purpose in that flick, because I mean, he was a powerful son of a bitch out of all of those people. He was probably the most powerful besides Enchantress, I would think. But I understand what David Ayer's doing, okay? Because, like I said, I keep saying that, like, old news is becoming new news lately, but that's due to the fact that all this stuff that was said throughout this whole movement for the Release the Snyder Cut that started, all this stuff was all attached to it. You know, Ray Fisher going on in between, giving out all the stuff on Twitter, putting all that shit out, talking about what happened, and then, you know, a week ago, or what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I lose track of time because there's so much shit that comes out, and that's why I say we're just a next day society. We get all fucking hot and bothered, and then next day we're talking about something else, and then that's old news already. So that's why I was like, you know, that's why I'm like, people, you have to fucking focus. You need to stop being so reactionary to everything, okay? Stop being so reactionary. Everything is like, oh my God, I gotta take to the internet and talk. Whoa. It's okay. I mean, guys, at the end of the day, these are fucking fictional characters, okay? I fucking hate when people start fighting with each other about made up fucking comic book characters. Can't you just enjoy what the artist gives you? And if you don't like it, move the fuck on, okay? If you don't like it, you got to move on. No one needs to hear you, you know, you're stupid for liking it. Oh, this is garbage. Oh, this is that. Guess what? There's probably a majority of people that like it. So all you're doing is upsetting them. No different how you get upset when they attack what you like. So, you know, double-edged sword here. I don't, you know, when it comes to it, do I feel that they can release the Ayer cut? Maybe. I don't think they feel a need to right now. I know everybody wants to say, oh, it's original content, it's this and that. Guys, they just did that. They're not going to go down a road. You got to remember to say, this is when I bring in the company stuff. You know, they're not all of a sudden just going to start throwing fucking dollar bills at old shit. All right? They're just not going to do that. They're not going to all of a sudden see, because now you got to have to remember something too. And this goes in any company. If someone gets hooked up, they're not all going to all of a sudden start hooking everybody else up just because. All right. Zack Snyder's not the first director that's been screwed in Hollywood. Okay. You're seeing David Ayer, but this has been going on. Hollywood has been fucked up forever. All right. And now we'll get back to Snyder Cut because now I'm kind of rounding into that again. What happened for the man was unprecedented, and it was all opportunistic on AT&T. And of course, bringing in Jason Kalara from Hulu, who built Hulu up, they wanted this guy to come in and build up HBO Max. Just due to the fact that HBO had all these different streaming platforms. And, you know, it's still kind of, you know, it's still new. It's only a couple years old. And, you know, I see people, oh, I'm going to cancel my subscription. Well, guess what, guys? That doesn't fuck them over, okay? Your one fucking subscription does not fuck them over. And I think that's stupid because all you're doing is taking yourself away from DC content because they have a shit ton of awesome DC content on there for the DCAU, for the movies. You're going to have the remastered BVS on there soon. Come on. What are you doing? Well, what does that do for you? Nothing. That's just you know, if that makes you feel better, cool. But I think you're only screwing yourself over at the end of the day because now you don't get to watch any of this shit because the DC app doesn't exist anymore. Netflix doesn't really have any DC products. I don't think they do at all. Amazon, you have to buy everything. So, you know, what's that going to do for you? Absolutely nothing. And when you start to get into, you know, like when I was getting into like the opportunistic time of how that happened and everything in life is timing. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for AT&T buying Warner Brothers, you know, and bringing in a new streaming service and bringing in this guy, then guess what? We never would have got the Snyder Cut. We could have cried to the high heavens and we still would not have gotten that. We wouldn't have. But we got it. It's here. So why can't we all just kumbaya and rejoice? Why does everybody have to fucking go insane every day? Why? Why? I'd love to know in some of my comments. And don't just be like, because it's awesome, because that's not fucking saying anything, okay? It just starts to get on my nerves because I feel that everybody's beating on a drum that nobody's listening to anymore when it comes to the fan base. Everybody can have all the cons they want, the cons online. They could, do all the money raising and all that kind of shit. It's going to take a big name to get this, okay? Look at all of a sudden, and I kind of view this in a positive light too. Amazon Prime, right? I call them By and Large, if anybody's ever seen Wall-E. They're spending almost $500 million on one season to do a Lord of the Rings series. Holy shit. So is that because they saw the success of the Snyder Cut? I mean, I don't know how long that's been in the works, but maybe the trigger was finally pulled because they saw what HBO Max had the balls to do. So in my mind, if Amazon Prime is going to go out there and spend that money, I know AT&T has endless money, no different than Netflix has endless money. And my dream scenario is that somehow Netflix gets a hold of the Snyderverse and they're like, here you go, bro, go do it. I mean, because that's kind of what you need. I just feel that Warner Brothers just gives you such a fucking fight. They give you so much shit that I just don't see it happening through them. And I feel that he's cryptically said that, Snyder, through it. So it's almost like there's like also a campaign going on for, someone else to pick this shit up. Who wants to throw the money out? I mean, does The Rock have enough clout for real? I mean, do you think The Rock, he might give his 2 cents and he might try to get it, this, that, the other. But guess what? The Rock wants to get paid, guys. And he's still doing his Black Adam movie regardless if it's going to be connected to the Snyderverse or not. He's still going to make his fucking movie. That's a movie that took over 10 years to fucking get going. Right? Yeah, I think it was I forgot when they announced that he was going to be Black Adam, but it was early 2000s. And here we are in 2021, and he's finally making his fucking movie. Jeez. And it took almost 5 years to get the Snyder Cut out because Warner Brothers fought it tooth and nail. They're doing the same thing now. Warner Brothers is doing the same fucking thing now in fighting. And you know what, Warner Brothers? That's what I think about you. I've got the evil monkey looking at you. Because you guys keep making really shitty decisions. Really shitty decisions. I mean, none of which make sense. So when it comes to, even New Gods, I'm not touching base too much on New Gods because it's canceled. It's done. I know. I mean, everything about it sounded epic. Okay. Oh, there's that fucking word again. Fucking epic. I gotta really figure out another word. I need a thesaurus. And yeah, we were about to get the Furies. We were gonna get fucking Darkseid, Darkseid and Euxis, his younger version self. Ares, Zeus, Orin, all of them. We're gonna get all of them. And it was going to be tied into Zack Snyder's Justice League and where he was going with it. So because when you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, there's nothing but the multiverse talked about in it. Multiverse, okay? You hear about the thousands of the 100,000s of worlds that exist out there and the Darkseid is destroyed. And how many worlds Steppenwolf still owed him and all that kind of stuff. Snyder was setting up the multiverse. And now here you have WB with their dumb fuck idea with the multiverse. And, they're putting Pattinson's Batman on Earth too. What? I mean, we saw what CW did with the Crisis and they were very ambitious with that. But they did not have budget for it. and you were using characters that weren't really part of that, you know, and you were putting your own thing in there, and it really wasn't that good. It was cool to see cameos. I love seeing Brandon Routh get to continue his Superman because he got fucked over back in the day, not given a good movie. But other than that, I mean, and then, you know, you saw Ezra Miller's Flash, meet Grant Gustison's Flash, and that kind of introduced the movie verse and the TV verse together for DC because Marvel was doing that shit. And please, guys, with the fucking comparisons of DC and Marvel, please fucking stop. Well, I mean, why? Why anymore with that shit? I like Marvel. I enjoy Marvel, but I love DC and I love Zack Snyder. But I don't sit there and say, Marvel sucks, it's a piece of shit. No, it's something totally different. It's a different fucking property that has nothing to do with the other one. Okay? So stop. Yes. You know what happens? Is that WB caused the riff. Okay? WB caused the riff. Warner Brothers, the execs caused the riff because they wanted to copycat, and they made it known that they wanted to copycat, and they still fucking make it known that they want to copycat, and they want to do the fucking multiverse, and they just keep throwing the word multiverse out there. That's what I think about you and your multiverse, because you don't even know what you're talking about when it comes to that. Then you want to throw in Flashpoint. What are you doing? Flashpoint's a very, very elaborate story. You need Aquaman and Wonder Woman for Flashpoint, not Supergirl, this guy, and Ben Affleck's Batman. Also, another very confusing thing to me, because if you got Ben Affleck to come back and do that, but yet you don't want to continue the Snyderverse, and you're using Ezra Miller's Flash, how does that make any sense? But then you don't want to do a Batfleck movie. You don't want to see that Deathstroke re-Batman. Why? Why? You know, like, I would love a legit reason. And I know everybody gets obsessed about the numbers of the Snyder Cut and all that kind of jazz. But I just feel that the movement doesn't need the canary cry. I feel that the movement needs to wait for an opportune moment. Okay? I think everybody needs to understand that now. It's time to be like a sniper. All right? You as a sniper, you don't just start shooting your fucking bullets all over the place, okay? You don't do that. You wait for the wind. You wait, you know, like I'm a sniper and I know this shit. But you wait for your moment. You wait for that moment for it to come out, and once that person comes out, you're waiting. You're precise with it. To just go out every day and go on the keyboard and just hashtag this and hashtag that, you start to become obnoxious, okay? And we start to sound like spoiled children. That, you know, you take a kid to the toy store, they get a toy, and then 2 days later or a day later, they're crying that they want another toy. And then they get that toy, and then they want another toy, and another toy, and another toy. Okay, you kind of feel where I'm going with that. So if we think that hashtagging every day is going to do it, it's not. And I'm going to reiterate that. It's not. It's not going to do it. I know Zack Snyder says keep watching it and keep doing that. Yes, because that is like by doing that, it allows them to have leverage. You understand what I'm saying? It gives them that opportunity to go, hey, you guys don't believe what we have to say? Look at the fan base. There's your money. Okay? So that's where you guys gotta look at them, really look at what he's saying. Don't just go, oh yeah, say he's easy. That's what he's trying to say. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you need if a Ben Affleck and The Rock team up together, right? And they try to get this out. Like all the actors come together and they want to get this shit out. Then, only then will this happen. because nothing is sitting in the vault. The only thing that's sitting in the vault right now is the David Ayer cut. So yeah, do I think that that'll never get released? No, I think it will. Do I think it's going to happen right now? No, I don't. Just due to the fact that you have a Suicide Squad movie coming out, maybe after that happens. I know AT&T has what do they call it, an investor meeting or an AT&T day where they're going to have announcements about, probably shit to come. There's supposed to be another DC fandom, but the thing is, guys, don't just put all your eggs in these baskets, because then you're going to get to it and then you're going to get upset. And then you're going to take to the internet and you're going to be reactionary. And you're not going to say the correct things. Yes, I know it makes us all want to do that. I know this is what we all want to do right now because it's very frustrating. But remember, there's a reason that all these articles are coming out. There's a reason that Snyder says the things that he says. But that doesn't mean, just because Zack Snyder's being cryptic and he's keeping a positive tone, that doesn't mean that we're going to get it, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to get it. It's just patience. Patience and timing. Patience and timing is what needs to happen right now. And if we can do, if there's an opportune moment, maybe it happens. I know there's supposed to be some kind of hashtag WB something nonsense, but guys, companies don't listen to that. They don't care, because regardless of us not giving two shits about the Flash movie and whatever other project they have coming out, there's a ton of other people that want to see it. There's a ton of other people that don't give two fucks about what we talk about. Okay? So we have to learn to live in the real world a little bit. And you have to learn to kind of appreciate what we have gotten to this point. Okay? I know HBO Max released that trailer. That trailer was beautiful that they had for the Zack Snyder, as they call it, the Zack Snyder quote-unquote trilogy. I think they call it a trilogy because he only has 3 movies out. And the Justice League movie that he put out kind of closes out the other 2 movies, and then he leaves it open for the next 2. Right? Right. But at the same token, it's not just like, okay, now we have to get to the next Justice League now. I mean, it's left there. There's been tons of movies just left on cliffhangers because that's just how they wanted to end them. Zack decided to do that. Zack knew he was going to rile up his fan base. He knows that. I don't like when people play stupid either. I don't. I hate that. It'd be nice if, we can get inside info and we can have Jason Clark come out and say, guys, we are trying to negotiate for this. Please be patient. And, we've got it coming. Now, we haven't heard any of that. But that's not how business is done. Business is done, behind the scenes, and we'll know if they want us to know. If they decide to continue it, they'll continue it. There's no timetable for them. And I know there's a lot of people saying, well, the actors aren't getting any younger. No shit, Sherlock. And the actors are all tied into other things. And don't tell me that Gal Gadot is going to get herself into Wonder Woman shape while she's pregnant. I don't know if she's had her other child yet, but I'm pretty sure I knew that she was pregnant or some shit like that. And then she's supposed to do Wonder Woman 3. So how is that supposed to happen? What is going on? We don't know. Michael Keaton apparently back. I don't know if I saw that correctly. I don't care, to be honest with you, because the Flash movie, and I said it months ago when I started my channel, and that was like 3 months ago. It was like one of my second or third videos. That movie is hot garbage. It's had tons of directors, or writers, a couple different directors, and now they have one, but we still haven't heard anything. We haven't heard shit about Ben Affleck's role in it. All they do is keep talking about Michael Keaton. You see Michael Keaton in the Batman suit in the concept art, but that makes no sense. The guy's fucking 69 years old, so how is he still fighting as Batman at 69 years old? You're going to de-age him? I mean, if you de-age the guy, okay, but still, that's kind of stupid. Why not just give him a Batman Beyond kind of vibe and then launch that into a series? I mean, yeah, look, you can put me at the helm of this whole thing and I would know what to do. And I'm not a huge comic book guy. But I love every character and I know all this stuff, but I'm not like a guy that sat and read every fucking comic book or anything like that. I was a guy that went out and had fun, partied, played sports and all that, and loved all this shit, as you could see behind me, as you could see on me, as you could see on my arm. I mean, look, guys. So it's not that I don't love the properties. I just have a more logical way of looking at this. Do you really think that they're just going to sign all these actors at the end of the day? You also have to pay the directors. You have to pay all the other people. You have to get in the VFX. You have to get the rights. All this kind of shit goes on. So it's not just like playing a video game and making a trade with no money or salaries involved, okay? So this is the other shit that I don't think everybody's wanting to see right now. And they're going to look at that. And then you'll say, well, Amazon Prime's doing a Lord of the Rings. We don't know how long that was in the works. Okay? We don't know how long. We don't know how long. And for the Ayer cut, yeah, he's saying that he doesn't need that much money and it would be cathartic for him or whatever for him to finish it. They have to want to do that. They have to say, all right, we'll let you finish your movie. But then then that opens the door. Okay, the door was already open, but if you give it to another director, that's really going to open a floodgate. So that's maybe why they don't want to do it. So we don't know if we're ever going to see that, okay? And I think everybody's holding on to something a little too much, and they really think it's directly tied to the Snyder Cut, and it's kind of, all right? It's not totally. Like I said, you're not going to see Parademons, and you're not going to see Steppenwolf. You're not going to see any of that shit. You're still going to see the Putty Soldiers. You're still going to see Enchantress. You're just going to get a lot more Joker, a lot more Harley. You're going to get and more flesh out to all the characters, especially Katana. Which, yes, like I said, I want to see. But am I sitting here yearning for it? No, I'm not. Do I hashtag it? Yeah. I hashtag it on here. I've done it on Instagram before. I used to do it on Twitter before I got suspended, but you know, that's no longer a thing for me. I can't get on Twitter. But you know, I'm able to do all my,
because I spit hot fire.
I can spit that hot fire, guys, on here all the time, especially on my live streams and on these. And like I said, on the New Gods thing, awesome script. It's too bad it didn't happen. I'm glad they canceled that. And not glad they canceled the first storyline. That would have been great, but glad they got rid of what they were trying to do. And then they're trying to blame it on the fact that Zack Snyder put them in there, or this, that, the other. Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut up. If you want to say that, then that means Zack Snyder just did it better. That's all you're saying. Zack Snyder just did it better. And he was setting up your whole universe for all you people to see it. And that's hopefully what kind of gets this thing going eventually. But like I said, right now, I know they're not going to give into it. And I think that's why I said, everybody, it's only going to hit a month tomorrow. So if you were expecting all this shit to be announced in a month or a week after, no. You know, when they were announcing all the other stuff with the Supergirl casting and renewing Superman and Lois for another season and greenlighting Wonder Woman 3, and then they're talking about Godzilla vs. Kong and how well it did, they were doing that to take the eyes away from the whole Snyder Cut mix. They didn't want that to be the forefront, even though it continues to be the forefront. They didn't want that to be the set-on thing that they had to deal with. So they're like, no, we got this coming. I mean, guys, we got Mortal Kombat coming next week. So HBO Max has a lot of shit on its slate already coming. So whether that means we have to wait, and then, like I said, the actor thing, look, they can de-age actors if they want to, with all that kind of facial stuff. They're not really that old. I mean, if Ben Affleck came back to do it, you know that Ben Affleck wants to do it, but, you know, it's just a matter of the studio saying, yeah, we're going to let you do it. I don't know. I honestly, like I said, I don't know. All I can say, guys, is keep the faith. Like I said, I wasn't trying to come in here and be a negative Nelly on it, because I'm not. I'm just trying to be very realistic with you. I'm trying to give you a different point of view. I'm trying to make you see things a little more in a, direct way. It's not just, I want to see it and it's going to get done. No. Okay. And I see a lot of people doing that shit. And, with the why can't it happen and why can't. Guys, look at everything, and then you'll start to understand that this is going to take a little bit of time. Look, I could be totally wrong. And then all of a sudden, tomorrow, we get the announcement that they're going to redo it. I think we have to wait for the AT&T big announcement day with all their shit, and we got to wait for DC Fandom. And then and there, you're going to truly know, in my mind, where the direction of everything is going. So please, appreciate the fact of what we got. Go back and watch Man of Steel, okay? The movie's fucking perfection. Go back and watch BVS Ultimate Edition. Fucking fantastic comic book movie. And then it's Ultimate, Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then that's why they call it a trilogy. They're not... We all know it was a 5-story arc. We all know. He released the scripts. He released scripts. We all fucking know. Okay, so that's why I'm like, everybody's just too reactionary to everything. And they say the completion of his trilogy. Yeah, the completion of those 3 movies. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with Justice League 2 and 3. No. They're just saying those 3 movies are completed. At least that's how I view it. And they did a very beautiful trailer. And of course, that's, guys, you know what that was for, honestly? That was to get more subscriptions to general audiences, okay? And to say, look at what we have on our platform. That's it. That doesn't mean they weren't going to continue the Snyderverse or that they were trying to kibosh it. I think that was another way of getting subscriptions and getting eyes on the streaming platform, because no other platform has Zack Snyder. Well, actually they do, but it's an HBO Max original. Of course, they cut deals with all the other things to get to other countries and, all that kind of shit. But I get it. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh my God, this isn't happening. I'm just saying, all right, like, this is going to be a long road. This is going to be a long road. I was told that they're not going to do a comic book version of it. Okay. Some people are like, I don't want animation. Well, guess what? If you got it animated, you fucking would watch it. I know you would, you fucking dumbasses. You should take it any way you can get it now, okay? If they were to put this shit out in animated form, because everybody wants to complain about the actors getting older, well, get the actors to come back and voice act it. Okay, and the way animation is done today, you can make this shit look sick. I mean, Zack Snyder has an animated prequel coming out for his Army of the Dead franchise, okay? Being done by Jay Oliva. What if Jay Oliva came back and did it? Would everybody be bitching? I know I wouldn't. So, look, I don't know what the future has in store for us. I want the Snyderverse continued. I'd love to see the Ayer cut. New Gods, whatever, that's old. That was never going to happen anyway. So who gives a shit? I don't know why we have to complain about it or anything like that. It was just another thing that the studio decided no, we can't do it. That's just the way it goes. That's the way the cookie's been crumbled. And for me to go back and complain about things that are from the past is not a proactive way of being. To me, it looks like people stomping their feet and crying about the fact that they didn't do it. Okay, they didn't do it. But here we are with 3 freaking of the best comic book movies you'll ever see. Okay? Man of Steel, BVS Ultimate Edition, Zack Snyder's Justice League, probably it's obviously within the top 5 of comic book movies, best comic book movies ever made, because everybody's going to have different opinions. Like, I can go to the nostalgia of being a kid and seeing 89 Batman in theaters, and that's one of my faves. And then Watchmen and fucking 300. And I mean, you know, the fucking list can go on. And, you know, some Marvel stuff, you know, like I enjoyed, what was it? Captain America, Winter Soldier, the first Captain America, all those movies, you know, I enjoyed all those movies. Do I put them at the top of the helm? No, they're just down there. They're entertaining. That's what I'll always say about Marvel. It's always entertaining. It doesn't take any risks, though. Okay, they never leave you like, oh my God, I can't believe they just did that. Never. Never. Even when they killed Tony Stark, I was like, okay, you know, whatever. You know, it was just what it was. Entertaining, yes. But does it hit the levels of what Zack Snyder does? No. No. And I'm totally honest with that. And I'm not even, and I'm not even being biased when I say that, because I love Zack Snyder, but no one touches Zack Snyder when it comes to comic book movie making. Nobody. Absolutely fucking nobody touches Zack Snyder. He is the GOAT of comic book movie making. And I will always say that, and I will always defend that. And anybody that wants to challenge me, come on. Even come on to a live stream. I'll take you on. So anyway, guys, I've been going on for a hot minute here. We're at like the holy shit, 51 minutes. Kelsey's going to fucking kill me because she has to review this. So thanks for checking in for an episode of Irregular Thoughts. I was a little, you know, I'm chill with this one because, you know, I'm just trying to give you guys all that stuff. I'm just giving you my thoughts, you know, and how I view this and how I look at it. And like I said, I'm not taking it from a negative point. I take it from a realistic standpoint. I want the same things you guys do, but I'm also not going to stomp my feet and cry about it because it doesn't do you any good. It only makes it worse on yourself. So, you know. Anyway, guys, I want you to go hit that like, hit that subscribe, and become a part of the Irregular Nation, because why wouldn't you want to? Come take a ride on the irregular side with this guy, the Irregular Neil. Cheers, everybody.